And so understand, he's right. Everybody instinctively, just like mice know when a hurricane's coming 2 days before, or birds, we have that too. Intellectually, they can go find it, but instinctively, people know what's happening. And the globalists use a complex psychological warfare op where they know everybody's scared, and they say, you're scared because terrorists are everywhere, and your neighbor's probably one. See, the enemy's very smart. They know people instinctively are going, I'm in danger, because we're in danger of this Hitlerian system. We have to go, no. The reason you're upset is look at the tyranny. Look who's doing all the bad things. Look at who's bankrupting things by design. And yes, start by talking about the financial collapse and how they're taking over. And even if we don't stop them at this juncture, as it gets worse and worse, all the seeds you planted in people's minds will then sprout. Those that turn away and walk away and laugh, they won't be laughing soon, unfortunately, because the globalists are planning a mass cull like in Soviet Russia. I've seen the attack pattern in history. This is it. This is the signature, the wavelength. We know what this animal is. It is the worst possible tyranny you can imagine. It is the worst system we could even imagine. This is hell on earth. Now, the enemy knows that, again, the people are waking up to them. So that's why they're trying to accelerate their plan, and that weakens them because haste makes waste. Now, I'm going to try to shut up, sir. You just really are spurring me to speak because, we're two guys that ever talked before and we're on the same page. How do folks contact you? How do they get involved? How do they fight this in England where, folks, it's secret police everywhere, lining you up, getting you used to being asked questions. Russia isn't this bad in the Cold War from folks I've talked to that are now in England that were in foreign service. This is like Russia, and they're trying that here. So how do we get involved? How do we continue to fight it?
Right. Well, if I can, I'd like to mention some websites which mean that America can come and have a look at what we're doing. So the first one I'd like to give you is www.cpexposed.com.
cpexposed.com, commonpurposeexposed.com, cpexposed.
And that has got documentary evidence about what Common Purpose is doing in the UK. But if you understand how it's working in UK, you'll very quickly see what's going on in America. And I want to come back, if you'll remind me, onto the subject of mind control. The other site I'd like to point you to is www.ukcolumn, that's as in Nelson's column, .org, and that's our newspaper. And also we had a conference back in February where we just said, let us see what happens when we start telling the truth. And we had 500 people very quickly in one location. So we're now going for a much bigger one in London. And the site for that is www.thebcgroup. BC stands for British Constitution, thebcgroup.org, .org.uk. And I'd also like to mention another gentleman. He's an ex-Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy, and his name is Gerald Atkinson. And he is running a website which is www.newtotalitarians.com. Now, I have only recently come across this guy, but he's been doing some fantastic work in showing how the American military is being mind-controlled by sensitivity training.
Yeah, let me explain to people. The government documents and in college, they admit that they're using subliminals, other systems on TV, and that they are. Sensitivity training is re-education. And that's what the new national draft is in the U.S., is forced education. And it's literally in these groupthink, peer pressure systems bringing in control. In the final segment, I'm going to have you back very, very soon, sir. I'm very impressed because all the time we get other folks on like yourself and we just click. But I wanted you to talk about what is it like for you, a patriot, a military officer, and I notice it's a lot of times military folks that are fighting this because you recognize an intelligence op, a takeover op. What was it like for you when you woke up to this with your view of England, your view of the world?
Well, it's been a big shock for me because I've had to completely relearn a lot of things that I've believed in. I will say to you now that I no longer believe that the intelligence services in this country are defending Britain. I believe they're part of the problem. So I've had to look at every aspect of the world around me and decide now what's true and what's not true. And Americans, ordinary American people, are going to have to do this as well.
Yeah, stay there. We've got to decide which side we're on. Folks, just choose a side. Are you on the New World Order side or Liberty side? Choose now. Choose wisely. It is our right, it is our duty to organize and to control our governments under the Magna Carta, Bill of Rights, Constitution in England and the United States. And worldwide, it's a basic human right. You don't get it from laws, you innately have it, but those laws are there. Notice how all of their charities, all of their groups are policing, spying, controlling, going after freedom, trying to raise taxes, and then demonizing anybody who's involved, anybody who speaks up for sovereignty or liberty. And notice how they say Obama's supposed to bring good race relations. Actually, he's going to represent the New World Order agenda. So when you criticize him, they'll then say, oh, that's racism, as they are now, to create and heighten division. This is how they control us. Just an amazing interview with Brian Gerrish. And you can find out more at the websites like cpexposed.com, ukcolumn.org, the bcgroup.org. And we really appreciate him coming on. I'll have you back up for a couple hours here in the next few weeks, because this is the takeover. They know if they've got the grassroots, they can win. And every time we try to declare state sovereignty, which is in the 10th Amendment, here in the U.S., our similar common purpose groups pop up and try to block it, and because they work for the feds who use our own tax money against us. In closing, dealing with, the mind control, the re-education, the brainwashing of police, teachers, and others, and their induction into these control arms. Go ahead.
Well, Alex, the one thing I wanted to come back to is doing things, and there are two more people I'd like to mention. One is a guy called John Harris, and he's a carpenter. He's come out of nowhere in UK, and basically he sent an affidavit to the Queen and said, I am not happy with what is happening in this country. I am making myself a free man. Now, a lot of people laughed at him when he did this, but what has actually started to happen is that hundreds of people are now signing affidavits to say that they are withdrawing from the system. They're not playing the game. They're not going to allow the system to control them in this way. In the beginning, people laughed, but now John's website, which is called tpuc.org, and I recommend that your listeners go and look.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get him on. I mean, that's a similar system to the Declaration of Independence. We're not slaves to the Queen, to this whole corporate maritime administration. And
Absolutely.
That really is how this whole thing works. And I've been meaning to get him back on. But finishing up here, they are brainwashing the military and police.
They are brainwashing particularly military and police, but it also goes through into the schools, which is particularly dangerous. But what we are now finding is that by giving talks and the videos that have gone out on the internet that we have sent out, by giving talks about how the brainwashing works and what changes you see in people, we're finding it difficult to cope now with the number of people who call us every day telling us that since they've heard our message, they can see it. They literally call me. I must have had 100 calls today. That's just through to me. Most of them I can't take. But the people are saying, I see it. Well,
let me stop you. It's all in government documents. It's been in the British news where they tell them, oh, kids, you're going to play spy. Don't tell your parents, thumbprint. And it's a laser scanner illegally. And it happened all over the nation in 1 week period, 2 years ago. I mean, these are government training camps. Yep. And Time Magazine for Kids says your parents are bad. They train kids here how to spy on their parents. Yep. We're going to have
Alex, you... A key thing is, for instance, when people are disturbed because they see police becoming more brutal, they're becoming dehumanized. This is the effect of sensitivity training.
Yes,
and that's happening in America. It's happening in
I'm going to have you, listen, I'm going to have you back up in the next few weeks, okay?
Okay.
God bless you. Great knowing you're out there. Great knowing you're fighting. We're with you here in the United States. You're out there in Airstrip 1. Folks, get the Obama Deception on DVD right now at Infowars.com. Get it out to everybody. Make copies. Fight these people. Retransmission with all the amazing guests coming up now Infowars.com. God bless you all. See you back live tomorrow, 11 to 3.